Suma's POV. Another mission behind inside enemy-controlled territory, I thought, perched and watching the horizon as the sun moved behind the Yggdrasil tree, causing its green and orange leaves to shimmer like a sunset. Hopefully not like the last. Suma, Jake said through our private connection. Squad's here, at the base of the castle. Ready to go? Yes, I answered, and flew down to meet them, all the while wondering how Rue had handled Odin's passing in the past week and a half. Would she be there? Spotting Jake and landing on the perch in his armour, I got my answer after looking around. I saw Captain Giguales, Lieutenant Datahu and Nine, but Rue was nowhere to be seen. However, there were two new faces. Perched on a black serpent was Lorik Isbala, and one other Nume I did not recognize. Lady Suma? Lorik said curtly. Sir Lorik, I asked, surprised to see him again. I knew he had joined the Drakes just as Jake and I had, but not once in all our training had we encountered him. You are well, it seems, as is your familiar. Hey, Lorik, Jake said hesitantly. He and Lorik had never gotten along, and neither had we. How have you been? Well, Lorik said flatly. Shall we take our leave and begin the mission? Indeed. The team has already been briefed on the mission, and each moment we stay here, our objective grows further away, Captain Giguales said. We can make proper introductions while we travel. Third Squadron, get into tunnel formation. One by one we all followed after the captain as he took the lead. Flying into the sky, our formation was single file. Captain in the lead, then a lieutenant, followed by Suma, 9, Lorik, 14, which was the designation of the newest team member, and finally Jake, who was riding Chariot. The reason we travelled like this was to increase our speed as much as possible. The one in first position, in this case our captain, was to cast and maintain a wind spell that created a tube of air that would push all turbulence aside, while also creating enough lift and directional winds to pull anyone inside forward faster than most could fly. Since Amboss on Pera was so far away from the coast, every moment counted. Jake was the only one outside the wind tunnel as we travelled, since he was too large to fit into it, but he kept up with us by using fire magic to create what he called a jet stream for himself. Apparently it was already similar to what the runes on Chariot did, but more effective. Due to the wind tunnel's excessive noise, Lieutenant Datahu cast a mind magic spell that allowed us to communicate. It was Jake who used it first. I know we are already in the middle of a mission, but I guess I just wanted to properly introduce myself. You said your name was 14? Mine's Jake Sentinel. Ah yes, Sentinel. It is a pleasure. Though I have no name, my current number is 14. I was transferred to your squadron just a few days ago. Lorik and 14 are Odin's and Roe's replacements, Lieutenant Datahu said. Does this mean Rue is leaving the Drakes? I asked. No, she is on modified assignment. Until further notice, she will remain on guard duty at base. It was by her own request, Datahu said. She took Odin's loss hard. Really hard, 9 said. 14 was sent to fill Odin's role, and Lorik volunteered to fill Roe's for this mission, Datahu said, to my surprise. Lorik, you volunteered to be on the same squad as me? Really? Jake asked, rather tactlessly and equally surprised, though I could not blame him. The last time he spoke to Lorik Isbala, he effectively called Jake a monster, best use for war. You're not still worried I'm a danger to the country, are you? Without looking back at anyone, Lorik responded, No. After reading the reports and having the events explained to me firsthand, I believe you are neither a danger to the Drakes, nor a hindrance. My reasons for joining this mission are personal. Reasons that I expect you will not allow to interfere with the mission, Lieutenant Datahu said sternly. Never, Lieutenant. The mission comes first. So, 14. How did you get that designation? Jake asked. Probably the same way I got the number 9. He was the 14th nameless Nume to join the Drakes this year, and the number was available. Quite so. My skills with both battle and support spells allow me to join, and I was placed on 7th Squadron. Until recently. Why did you leave? Jake asked. 7th Squadron was dissolved after a mission gone wrong, and all remaining members were reassigned. If I might ask, how many survivors? 9 asked. 2, the captain said, finally interjecting. There's Sergeant and 14. Now let the singing dive. I need to focus on maintaining the spell. Keep all non-essential communication to a minimum until we arrive at the Sea Flyer. We flew for hours in silence, except for the sounds of winds roaring just a wingspan away, going so fast just touching it could break bones and rip out feathers. Just as the sun began to set in the distance, Jake said something strange. I think I smell the ocean. We must be getting near our transport, the captain said. Keep an eye out. We should be able to see it soon. Captain, there it is. Forward left under the sun and just above the horizon, 9 announced. The captain readjusted our formation, and soon we were landing on the shore by the ocean. A dockyard? Jake asked aloud, now that we did not need the wind tunnel anymore. Indeed. I shall go and speak with the dockmaster. They will know which sea flyer will be our transport. Wait here, Captain Guiguales said. These are sea flyers, then? 14 asked. We all examined them. They were colossal things. There was no stone anywhere in them that I could see, despite their large size. Rather, they were made entirely of wood, with large swaths of fabric strapped to and hanging from a set of what appeared to be comically large perches. The shape reminded me of the pit of a wargo flower if it was cut lengthwise, but brown instead of red. Along the top of the ship were runes engraved into perches and filled with clay. On my world we call them ships, Jake said. Or sailboats.